Excuse me. Mm, 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 mm.
Better than Samson.
I want to talk to Samson. I want to talk to Samson. The Ice King and them came through fucking shit up until Ari killed his ass. Rob like, Ari, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't remember this theme music because you ain't watched Game of Thrones, did you?
I did. I watched her like season maybe 4 when she got a dragon and shit. She is freeing all the slaves and shit. That's why I watched her too.
That bitch was bad as hell and she was off the hook.
Yeah, she was.
She rose to power fast. Came back, crossed the Iron Horses, took the Iron Horses across the sea.
Let's make a toast to doing more this spring. Actually, let's make two.
To King's Landing, and she burnt them bitches down.
Topped with oven roasted tomatoes, vine ripened and perfectly seasoned. Now you have 2 more delicious reasons to do your thing this spring.
You ain't see all that.
No, I ain't see all that.
She got up to season 4 when the dragons got big.
No, I ain't see. The dragons were still like, they was like medium size for real.
Yeah, you ain't see. Yeah, you
No, they medium. Yeah, she's like right in the like she free like maybe 3 or 4 slave colonies.
Okay.
I stopped watching.
And she changed the name from Slaver's Bay to motherfucking something else and shit.
Yeah, I gotta pick that shit right back up, man.
That shit off the hook, man. They ended it terrible, but it's off the hook. Another one coming out, the Targaryens. 100 years before Game of Thrones went down, they showing how the king, the Targaryens, her family, came to power.
Okay.
We'll never have a problem doing a late night show. We don't have to be excited. You don't have to be whatever. Your day could have been long drained. You might not catch this thing tonight. I doubt we'll even have a whole bunch of people even tuned in because I ain't screamed nothing about a gift. So with that being said, we just want to get through this wild card weekend because the wild card weekend was off the hook. Wilding in the wild card weekend and shit, man. Rob, how many of these games did you actually catch yourself?
I caught mostly all of them. I caught Hoodie and the Browns. I caught Shogun and the Patriots. I caught D West and the Cowboys to a certain point. And I caught the Vikings and the Cardinals game. The Dolphins game, I don't know what happened to that. I don't know if the stream got put up or not, but I ain't catch that shit.
Yeah, I caught the tail end of the Bills and the Browns game, which was very exciting from what I was gathered.
You know, and Junior made it exciting because for the longest, like that whole first half, he was blown out for the most part.
Oh yeah.
So for that game to be, that's what made that game extra exciting. Like he marched all the way back, took the lead, left the Bills with what 25 seconds on the clock, and I missed the little baby because I was getting a phone call. And all I heard was Max in the background, like, he could score, pull the shit back up, he on the 1. I'm like, oh my God. That fast. Oh, man, that game. But yeah, Junior made a game out of it.
Yeah, he got beat with a one-play shotty. Running it back, you know.
Man.
At that point, you gotta play, You gotta play kind of almost a prevent defense, kind of like, and no big plays. Let him catch everything in front of you and try to keep him in bounds. You can't give up a one-play bomb. See, the touchdown didn't happen off the one-play tutty. It was a one-play bomb that got him down to the red zone, score, and went for 2.
I don't think he got the 2, did he?
Nah, he didn't get it.
He just scored.
He just scored, yep. Yeah. But, like, I saw the Browns score, you know, on a crossing route that came across the end zone from right to left that he caught, or it was either corner route
No, it was a running back off the backfield.
The running back caught that?
Yeah, that was off the backfield. That was on
that was nasty.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he got his YouTube on and started, you know, running wheel routes and shit. That had to be a wheel route with the running back.
It was a set play. It's that one where he come out the backfield and he do like a little. It's a wheel route. Like he's on the wheel and he like corners off.
Choice route.
No, it's not a choice route. It's in the playbooks.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. He did the scissors route.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're talking about. Know exactly where it came from. I know it all. I know it all. Yes, we do. So, all right, man. When we came out of today's show from earlier today, because it's still, well, no, it is now the next day. It is now Monday morning. But yesterday, during our, you know, brunch show that turned into, like, afternoon time and shit, we did a 3-hour show. That shit was kind of popping, though. I liked that show. It was very informative. A lot of things went down. See how many people trades go through it. How many people put their stuff on trade. Nothing. Don't ask me for nobody. If I don't put them on a block, I ain't trading them. All right. We talked about these matchups in the wild card round. We liked them all. The game of the week was the Jaguars and the Patriots. That was the game that was pick a winner game. And the winner, if you picked the winner, that means you were on late. And the night show. If you was on for the night show and you was on late, then you knew that the pick the winner segment was at the end. And if you picked the winner, you would get, you know, the gift for picking that winner. And because you were still on watching the show, you'll get a second gift to that too. So last night, guys had an opportunity for a total of 5 total upgrades last night. If they just handled their business and did the things they needed to do. All right. Now, with that being said, man. With that being said, some of those matchups, you know, I don't think we had too many of the away teams as winners in these games. I don't really think we really picked too many. I know Max had a couple of the picks before he started nodding the fuck off. He stopped at the Vikings and the Cardinals. I did say the Cardinals will blow the Vikings doors the fuck off if he didn't play you know, check down and run the ball and all that. I think, you know, he got the doors blown off, but he didn't go out there and just throw bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. You know what I mean? So he threw 40 interceptions and the game got crucial. He kind of played a football game and he got other multiple receivers involved because of the pressure of your dog ass receivers, and niggas is balling, and that's all I know. I just know guys are balling. Rob, unfortunately, you were in the playoffs. Unfortunately, you got an early exit, but sometimes you can take a loss and you know, in a bigger game, in a big atmospheric game like the one you played today, you could take a loss and get more out of that loss than you would the win.
Right.
I feel like you absolutely benefited in a way like that, where that loss showed you more, gave you confidence going into your future. Do you feel like the Philadelphia Eagles, let's assess the moves you made and the long walk through that draft for the quarterback? Like, just think about this part of it. In the first round, starting to get into the back of the draft, I forgot exactly where you picked that last draft.
26.
At 26, you said?
Yep.
All right. At 26, and I think Max picked at 23.
Yep. Him and Hitter was like close possible.
Right. So Hitter, what did Hitter do in that draft? Oh, Hitter went safety. Max went D tackle. Max grabbed at 23 the number 1 D tackle on the board. Did that have any impact on what you know, on your thought process and where you was going, or you already had your mind made up as soon as the draft started?
No, cause like I said, like prior to like this prior season, I really like realized I gotta really start paying attention to what my division's doing. I really wasn't moving off my division. I was moving off of like what's going to fit my game, my style of play. What's going to have me feeling comfortable, and that's how I moved. Like I didn't really necessarily move based on how they was moving, what the picks they took. Half the time I really didn't pay attention to the picks they took as long as it wasn't the pick I wanted.
Right.
So, yeah.
So bottom line, what you saying is like, yeah, you ain't moving off of what those guys are doing. You moved off of what you were trying to do. You only notice their picks if they grab the person you was interested in.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's well, we'll see. Like my division's pretty easy because they all do the same shit. They all go for the tall receivers, the tall corners.
They ass, huh? Just going for the same bullshit over and over
again. You got a 5'9" safety and a 5'10" safety.
But you grabbed that when that was like late round type shit. Like you grabbed that was like a luxury pick that you just benefited third. It was a luxury pick for you to.
He's 5'9" and starts. That's not luxury. That's a dog.
Max, you get what I'm saying here. You went, y'all got trees over there. All y'all got the same tree receivers. The same, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got what y'all got. Like, so
I mean, the Cowboys and shit named their receiver tree.
And, yeah, exactly. Like, and if you look at all the rosters, you'll see it's fairly identical on all 3 teams. So it's like, there's really not too much to really pay attention to because it's all the same shit. But I just knew me, like, when I'm comfortable, I play 10 times better. Like, I'm 10 times more confident coming into the game. So for me, it was just like, man, what's going to make you the most comfortable this year, like, and going forward, like, and that's how I just really moved, like, and like towards the later rounds, because I ain't gonna lie, like, I'm not that good at the draft and shit. So like towards the later rounds, I'm like staggering and stumbling, trying to figure out who the hell to pick, and like I'm worried about the clock and shit. So sometimes some of them picks be like a little forced because I'm like, man, the clock's against me. And I'm just like looking, because I don't do advanced scouting or nothing like that. Like I wait until we get to the draft and try to fucking do all the scout work, which is a flaw on my part. You know what I'm saying?
But the one thing about you is you have no problem pointing out your problems. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't pointing a finger at nobody else, and you're a shit talking ass guy on the low. Like, cause on the low is saying you just said to your division, man, them guys all do the same shit. I wasn't concerned at nothing they was doing in the draft, cause they do the same shit. You look at one team, you see the other team. Simple as that. You got a little bit of arrogance in you and shit. You see how fast Max hopped on with the high pitch and shit. Like, what up, man? Wait a minute.
Here's the thing with me, though. Like, for those that don't know, I'm a Leo, bro. And if y'all know Leos, there's a certain way we carry ourselves. Like, there's some people that are just loud and they want the center stage, and there's other Leos that are just like, you know what I'm saying? You want to know who the fuck we is. I don't gotta really talk a lot of shit. Me and Craig are both Leos, and you can see the 2 different sides of us.
I knew you was talking about your cousin. He loud, want the center stage and shit.
Like Craig wants the center stage. Bitch. Craig, that's where he's at with it. Like Craig likes, he likes the spotlight. Like I'm the type of
y'all two.
Like the spotlight.
Let's talk there for a second before we get back into the playoff. Y'all two kind of be going at each other a little bit too.
Just a little bit. I mean,
it's family affair. Like it's family competition, but y'all be going at it a little bit.
We was raised in competition for like our moms from early age. They had us in competitions and unnecessary competitions half the time. Half the time I was in competitions. I didn't know I was in competitions. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
So like this
on some like lineup. I bet you my son could throw the ball farther than yours.
Type shit like on some So out of necessity, that's just how we was raised. We was raised in that element. So like you'll catch it like for the most part, we stand solid with each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't go against my cousin too often, but like, you'll just catch us here and there. Like, he'll say some shit on the show that I don't like, and I'll speak my piece, or
Like you
yeah, I'm saying,
asked
like,
and you motherfuckers scored all your points in the fourth quarter last time y'all
yeah, or
played, and you know.
yeah, or like them throws don't go. Like last time we got a little riled up on the show, it was after a playoff game. Matter of fact, when I was getting a couple of throws that he felt like I shouldn't have got. You know what I'm saying? That's where you'll see
Right.
little shit like that come out. But for the most part, we don't. You know what I'm saying? That's just the Leo in us for real. Like, and
Yeah,
that's
you
what we
got
bump
tight,
heads
y'all
with.
tight knit too. Y'all tight, close. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Ride out for each other. That's what's up. What I do know is this though. You've spoken out loud a lot about how you had the worst team in the NFC East,
Right.
and you stuck
And
by that.
I mean, and yeah, it come off like it might come off as complaining and shit, but like at the end of the day, like nobody can look at my team and say I'm not speaking facts to a certain extent. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can talk about, you know what I'm saying, my coaching wins me a lot of games I probably shouldn't win because I go up against a lot of teams that are just, you know what I'm saying, top to bottom better than me. And I coach my way through that shit, but nobody can really look at my roster and be like,
So
oh
are you
no,
saying you're a better coach
he's
than?
just complaining. Like I'm just saying, like, you can't, like, there's not a person in this league that can go to my roster and then be like, no, he's just complaining. Like, he's just bitching, just a bitch. Like, nah, there's some truth to that shit. Like, and I played through it, and like I said, half that shit's my fault. Like, we had a whole interview about it, like me not knowing how to develop certain
Right.
players, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I ain't
But you
pointing finger
ain't
at
figured it
nobody,
out
but I
though.
just, yeah, I figured it out. Like, but it was never to point fingers at nobody either. It was just me staying a fact. Like, you can sit here.
So take me through the emotions, your locker room, right? You know, they got y'all in the
Yeah.
way locker room. Shitty ass little bullshit locker room is fucking brick cold out that bitch in New York. Actually New Jersey and the Meadowlands and shit. Um and just the emotions. I want you to talk from a owner standpoint first. The owner walks in the locker room right before, you know, your coaches is ready to give out the speeches and all that. He don't address the team, but he addresses the head coach. Is Jeff
Um,
Lurie addressing your head coach with I would say
a little bit of hope.
information more like
Yeah.
expectation, or is he, you know,
Well, I can tell you right now, he
shaking
got
his
a
hand and
5-year
telling him
con.
good luck?
So just based off the 5-year extension I got from my owner, you know what I'm saying? We could kind of guess that he's pleased. Like, he's walking in, like, of course he expects more, and like this game gave him a lot to look forward to because like we had Deshaun and all that. We had a good team the last few years, and we would face a guy like the Giants in the playoffs and get blown out, or you know what I'm saying, completely shit the bed. And although my rookie came in and we made some key errors in this game, for the most part, we was in this game. Like, the game lasted all into the fourth quarter when he ran away from it.
All right.
Like, but for the most part, it was like I turned this shit into a 4-point game. It was 15, 19 out of point. I made some crucial errors, but like, he's a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So we all walked away from that game disappointed because, you know, at the end of the day, we all come to win. Like, I ain't trying to get to the playoffs just to be like, oh, I made the playoffs. Man, I want to win.
You ain't
But
trying
so
to
in
get your
that
snake
aspect, yeah. So in that aspect, you know what I'm saying,
on.
I'm disappointed. But I walk away from that game like I never walked away from a loss in such high hopes. You know what I'm saying? Like, normally I walk away from a loss. I done cuss Max out and he a whole bunch of butt bitches and shit. Like, I done cuss Max out a couple of times. Like, he blew me the fuck out the one time. I was pissed. Back in my straight, he got cussed out. Like, but like this game, I couldn't be mad. I'm like, man, we gotta take our L. Like, we took our L. I seen shit I liked. I seen a lot of shit I didn't like. I seen where I was making mistakes as a user and a coach. You know what I'm saying? And this is like the first loss where I was like, man, I was able to like really learn from that shit in the playoff loss. Like, because I suck at losing. I'm a poor loser, dog. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody is, but like, I'm really the worst. Like, I ain't mad, and I won't get off, and I won't. I don't vocalize that shit a lot, but I be mad as fuck. My girl be laughing her ass off at me because no, don't talk to me, dog. Like,
Right. I ain't trying to hear that after
conversations
the loss.
ceased. Like, I don't want to hear shit else tonight. Like, um, But
So
yeah,
Jeff Lurie shakes your head coach's hand and tell him, he appreciate him. Uh, you know, good luck out there tonight. And he walks off and he goes up into his press box, his little luxury suite, and chill out to watch the game that the New York Giants and the Meadowlands open up for him. Here, you over here, you're a big dog. You sit up here and watch the game. Once he walks out that locker room, it becomes a coaching thing, and the head coach addresses the team. Right now, you guys are in the element. You have a young quarterback who's playing in this type of element for the first time because he's from Florida State. So 9 out of 10, you don't think they absolutely saw the snow game ever in his entire 4 years there, 3 years there because he left as a junior. What's the first, because you can't address the entire team as a whole until you can look your quarterback in the eyes and see that he has a look that you comfortable with and know that he's ready. Did you see that?
I didn't see the look, and for the most part, like I treated it like I was damn near about to treat him like a game manager. But the way the game was going and the way the game dictated, he turned into that guy, and like to see that transpire throughout the game, like that's what got my hopes up. Like, that's why I'm like, man, I start getting excited. Like there was a couple throws he made. I'm like, man, like I could see it. Like, and for it to be his first snow game, he really only had one air throw where he threw it in the ground one time. For real, he wasn't slipping his line everywhere. He was composed. His dropbacks was clean. Yeah, man. Like the game plan changed real quick. Like, like I almost felt damn near confident with it.
My next question would be to you as a diaper dandy who played outstanding all year for you. I would say he wouldn't be the absolute leader and captain of your offense, right? So I would ask you, who would take on that leadership role in that locker room out of the players?
I would have to give it like JT is the leader. Like my diaper daddy, he wears a C on his chest, but JT is absolutely the leader right now. He's the veteran presence. I do got Smith still. He's leading from the bench. So, but my team's fairly young for you to look at. Like, I got Ramchek, and I guess he's vocal in ways, but like most of my leaders are leading from the bench. Like we're young in many areas. So yeah.
So like that means the roster turnover was pretty much pit and play, and the fact that again you guys got into the playoffs. Are you comfortable with sneaking in the playoffs, or do you feel like you earned that playoff run?
Honestly, and I'm being honest, I don't know how the fuck y'all let me get in the playoffs. I'm taking everybody. like this is supposed to be like, I had it made up in my mind that it was supposed to be a tank year. Like, so for me to still, slither my way in there, and like I climbed hurdles this year. Like, for the longest I couldn't get over that giant hurdle. I got a win out of him. I achieved so much in a year that I was not supposed to achieve anything other than build my quarterback. That it just like my confidence is through the roof right now. Like, there ain't nothing you can really tell me. Like, all I know is that Philly's coming one way or another. Like, we kicking the door down.
Now, after the game, is that something that your coach would, pretty much spit at the team, that like those same things you're saying right now? Like, we're here, we're coming.
Oh yeah,
guys don't have to worry about us.
Speech, man. Yeah.
What's the Philadelphia Eagles expectations for next year?
Next year's expectations, I'm not even there yet. I'm just like, I want to see. Right now, my expectations is for the draft. I want to have a hell of a draft right now. I want to make sure I get all my key needs, all my key pieces, to finish this build process. Like, so if any expectation, I want to see my quarterback, I want to see him thrive a little bit more and not having so many turnovers. I like to see my running game pick up a little bit more. See if we can adjust that shit in the draft. See if we can get a nice solid running back to give us a little help back there in the backfield. I want to see if I can get something like, I expect my receiving core to step up and help Parker out a little bit more. He carried the load for the most part this year.
I'm talking about Dorian Parker, right?
Yeah, so like it's like individual challenges I got for each section of my team that I feel like we should be a year wiser, a year more experienced. We should be able to hit the ground running.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at your team, you look at needs, and you look at the growth of the golden child, and you think about the common thing that I always explain when you go get you your QB1. You want to put weapons and protection around this guy. Do you feel like there's one need out of those two categories, protection or weapons? Are they needs for you, or you feel like he has the weapons and protection around him already?
You can never have too many weapons first off, and protection. I am a little older. One of the tackle positions that I might like to solidify in this draft. But for the most part, I feel like my protection is pretty solid. The superstars across the board. Even got a couple of backup superstars. So, um,
how do you feel? Uh, how do you feel after you evaluate yourself off this playoff game you had? After you evaluate, what happened in this game, just talking to you off air, getting ready for this interview, it sounded like, again, you was able to take more from a loss out of this game that made you look like your future's bright, where you're optimistic about going into the next season with this football team. Um,
yeah.
what type of job has your coaching staff provided for you as a head coach?
Um, they just stepped up, man. It's like the development process is just like 10 times better than where we were like a year or two ago. Um, the guys seem like they really getting it. I don't got people lost out there in La La Land, getting turned around 50 yards across field. I mean, I did have that one hiccup against Snake, but other than that, guys they're in position. Like they understand their assignments. There's not too many like you got to earn every yard you get with us. Like for the most part, I would like to see a transition like with the linebacking core in the front seven. I like to see them get more penetration and not get caught up in the wash so much against the run game. But there was a couple of times they got caught up in the wash. I mean, the wash, boy. But that's just like I said, I just go to the challenges for next season. So see, we
For
can't get that
Philadelphia to be
fixed.
super successful next year, they have to be able to attack teams with a strong run game. Do you feel like that you have the running back on your roster already?
Uh, well, with Taylor being a little older, I feel like I need a power back. Like that's just what this game dictates. Like everybody needs a power back. I don't care who you is. I like the kid Woodson. He's sitting at a 90 overall, 89 overall, decent speed. He'll be a nice scat back, but I need that one true bell cow. So we'll see what we can do in the draft and
I
go
think
from there.
when you look at your team, you look at the way your quarterback has played. The moment he unlocked, it looked like you took the handcuffs off of him when he unlocked, and you allowed him to process, the field a little bit more. Like you, instead of having him, checking down and cutting the field in half, when he unlocked and he got to his full potential, we seen the offense explode a little more. You scored more points per game, and you also got more players involved, and the passing game at times looked like back when yonders when you first got Deshaun Watson and was flinging that thing all over the place. Um, so I guess my question to you is, when are you ready to say to all the naysayers that said this guy that has no idea what he's doing goes out and get back-to-back quarterbacks after he talked about other coaches that went out and got back-to-back quarterbacks? When are you ready to tell them you got it right and don't question me again?
I mean, they can't see. I just made the playoffs doing it my way. I went and got back-to-back playoff quarterbacks, but like not even to take a shot in the way. But the people who took back-to-back quarterbacks before me haven't even sniffed the playoffs. Like, like what I got to prove at this point? Like, what else? Like, there's nothing more I could say at this point. Like, y'all see what's going on. Like, y'all see me, I'm still pulling wins out my ass. Like, I played half the season with him not unlocked. And then when he unlocked, he got better. Like, and I really only had training wheels on him for, like, maybe the division games for real, because I played, when I first opened up against GETA, that was the first game of the season. It was like his front seven had a fucking field day against him. So I put the training wheels on him a little bit after that. But I'm like, man, for the most part, I was like, I had to let it flame. So we got into the game with Corey, and I was able to see what he was able to do even without being unlocked. And that's when the training wheels came fully off for the quarterback. And I started letting him, like, throw the ball around. It just only got better when he unlocked. So,
all right. Eagles are on their way, man. They were dubbed the Philadelphia Eagles for a reason. Filthy Philly, right? Let's talk about this wild card round, man. You watched a couple of games. Just give me one game that stood out to you the most.
It got to be the Bills and the Browns. That was the most impressive game I've seen.
It was a freaky finish, man. It was I mean, we had some big time situations going on in some of these games today. That Bills game with the Browns, like you watched it from start to finish, right?
Yeah.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. The Buffalo Bills jumped out on top of this game big time, right?
It was at least like 17-3 or 0 at one point.
I can't afford streaming
anymore. Mistaken.
Well, let's get to it. You know what I'm talking about? Let's conversate about it. Alright, so we go into Buffalo where it's snowing, where the weather is bad. We go out there and we check out what happened over here right now. Box score right away. So Buffalo went up 13-0 in the first quarter, scored 6 in the second. I think that was an extra point missed. I don't know if that was a 2 field goals that happened. I think it was an extra point missed in that bad weather conditioning out there in New York and Buffalo upstate, right? So, you know, they missed that field goal, and then we're looking at a 19-7 game in the second quarter going into halftime. And then Cleveland came striking back, completely striking back. So you look at the offensive yards gained, 347 for the Browns. That arrow stays there. The Buffalo Bills outran them, 105 to 142. Offensive passing yards, 242 to 184. 15 first downs to 11. As you go to total yards, Buffalo did that, 404. And the turnover department, Buffalo won that. Browns turned the ball over 3 times. Buffalo turned it over 2 times. Time of possession, 17 minutes to 14 minutes, almost 16, 15 minutes, in that game. Let's look at the run game for the Buffalo Bills before we look at the pass and stuff right there. Danger Griffin wasn't the only diaper dandy playing in these playoff games, but for a diaper dandy to come out there and give them 6.6 yards a carry, 17 carries for 112 yards, is that special?
Yeah, he's a problem.
He's gonna be a fucking problem. Like we're looking at the future of our league right now, man. These guys, you know, they come out and they doing some big time shit. Now, Nick Chubb was around, 24 carries. The Browns came out trying to do what they, you know, what I kind of figured they would do. They have no problem in that West Coast offense giving Nick Chubb the football. They gave him the ball 24 times, but it seemed like the Buffalo Bills defense was all over Nick Chubb, 3.9 yards a carry. He was under 4 yards a carry. He did score a touchdown, but again, under 4 yards a carry is big time. In the passing game, the rookie, the diaper dandy, you know, we had Mike Weber, who was a diaper dandy that played in his playoffs for the first time as a rookie. We had DT, the golden child for the Philadelphia Eagles, who played as a diaper dandy in these playoffs for the first time. And then over there in Minnesota, you had a kid over there that threw the ball around the park as well as a diaper dandy. So we're looking at 3 quarterbacks that made it to the playoffs this year that were rookies. I don't think we saw that ever. This is a first. It seems like every time we get to the playoffs, we start to see a first. The trend just keep happening where somebody starts setting trends over there. And when I get to what I saw today in one of these games, and we're going to talk about some things, but hold up. Let's finish here. I'm not mad at Mike Weber with his 111.8 QB rate and 184 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He wasn't sacked at all. Looked like he managed the game really well.
Yeah.
Braden Stanton, 94.6. He threw for 262 yards, 3 touchdowns to 2 picks. He was sacked twice as well. When it comes to looking at the receivers, I told you had to worry about this kid, Justice Keys. He was there 4 times. Nick Chubb was the man. When I tell y'all how people play, maybe people should start listening. I mean, Nick Chubb caught the ball 7 times. How many times you heard me say the Browns will throw it to their running back before they do anything else?
You said that shit on one show all day.
7 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown. Nick Chubb played really well, considering we might have seen Nick Chubb last football game in Cleveland. As he's up there in age. Really had no big time. You got Stanley McDonald, a free agency pickup that had a big day for the Bills. And this is why the Bills are special. They go get these guys out of free agency and they make them make big plays for them. 4 catches, 60 yards. Looked like he was the leading receiver for them when, Chris Paul's over there with 1 catch. Do you think that's the Denzel Ward thing? Or, like what happened? Why was Chris Paul not able to get loose in this game, really?
It might have been Denzel Ward.
I think the veteran and Denzel Ward had to have something to say about that.
Yeah. He wasn't trying to take too many shots either, but he was playing really game management.
Play smart football, game management like a motherfucker. Wasn't you know what I mean? He know what he has at quarterback and he know where he's at with his quarterback. So, shout out there. All right, so Anthony Schwartz, man, we had 2 Schwartz in the playoffs this year. Richard and Anthony. Anthony had 2 catches for 27 yards and a touchdown in this game. Go look on the defensive side of things. Buffalo played, man. Tarquin Battle used to play for the Cleveland Browns. How sweet is that? Comes into this game and get 8 tackles in this game. Let's see who got to the quarterback because the Bills didn't get sacked, but Devin Hall got there and Zaven Collins, the ex-Cardinal, got to the quarterback. INT-wise right now, Trey Brown had a pick. Lennox, the Jamaican, had a pick. Castle, right? He stepped up, and then the veteran Fred Warner, the free agency pickup, had another INT in this game too. Buffalo moves on, man. They beat the Cleveland Browns 34-27, and no, I'm not hopping out of this game without talking about how it ended. Rob, help me out with this game, man. As you seen, Cleveland was down in this game going into halftime, and then they swung that thing around. Not only did they score, they gave Danger the football and stripped him and scooped that thing up and went right back down and scored again.
Scored again to take the lead.
And left how much time on the clock?
I think it was 25 seconds. All I know, because I was on chat with Max at the time, I got a phone call, literally, like he stripped the ball, got the ball back, he scored to take the lead, like from 25 seconds, I got a phone call to my phone, answered the phone, by the time I hung up, Hoodie's on the 1 yard line. Max is like,
right.
He could score, like, that game was crazy. I didn't see the little baby that got him to the 1 yard line.
I did.
But just the excitement of it, it was just like, man, that game was crazy. Like, for the Browns to make a game of that, like, for him to keep his composure, like, a lot of people can't do that in a playoff game because a lot of nerves, like, when you go down that much and you see that you're, like, nothing's going your way for a certain period of time, like, it's very easy to get in your own head. Like, he didn't let that happen. Like, he slowed the game down.
He made them 3.9 yards a carry, 24 carries, and Nick Chubb. He made that work in his favor.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? He wasn't successful running the ball like all crazy, but them 24 carries kept the momentum for not getting crazy. And this is why he had the opportunity to come back in this ball game. And 34-27 was the ball game. We saw Hoodie, nice little dial up. He had 2 verticals, one from the seam route on the right side of the field, and the other one from the other seam where it was that tight formation. And you had two, pretty much streaks. And whoever gets open getting the football, and you saw it, bombs away. Catches to get tackled on the 1 yard line, gets the touchdown. They run it in with the big power back from the 1 yard line from the fullback position, and then they go for 2 and don't get it. But they was able to hold the Cleveland Browns from scoring another point after that. I think in fact they threw a pick to end the game. Alright, so let's get to it. We're going to slide from the 2 seed versus 7, where the Buffalo Bills got themselves a playoff win after losing in the wild card round last year to the Las Vegas Raiders. They move on. And we go over here and we get to 2 versus 7, and the Philadelphia Eagles travel to New York, in the Meadowlands, New Jersey, and face the New Young Gremlins right now, man. Did you feel like the snow had something to do with this game at all?
Like I said, people, they were slipping and stuff. I don't think the snow dictated the game. It was more so, I made a couple crucial mistakes that should never have been made on my part. That's what cost the game. Like,
no
I gotta
doubt.
take credit for that.
So let me ask you this: 32-15. What the way the score looked, it wasn't. That's not the tell-all of the game. Like, this wasn't. All right, the Giants went there and came home and just whooped their ass, kind of. As you can see, 13 points were scored in the fourth quarter from the New York Giants, and one of them was a pick six.
Right.
All right, so 387 yards offensive game. You outgained them 236, 90 on the ground at 107. Neither one of you guys went crazy in the run game, but they did have 107 yards a year. 297 in the passing game at 129. Where the Giants are super explosive, it doesn't seem like they played that type of football. It looked like they came out to play, safe football.
He took his shots. He took his shots, but he had a comfortable lead too, where he was able to dictate the game through the ground. Like, he didn't have to really force nothing. I'll say that. Like, but he definitely took his shots when he won it.
Right. So 18 first downs to 9. 425 total yards. Like, you winning in a lot of these departments. Third down, fourth down conversions. You kind of was winning in a lot of these departments. Red zones, turnovers, time of possession, 17 to his 14 minutes. Where's the turnovers at? You have 5 to his 1.
Yeah, I had 5. Yeah.
That's it right there, man. So did the game catch up to the magnitude of this game? Did it catch up to DT, the Golden Child? Because he did throw 5 picks. And you're saying you like what you saw a lot of him, but he threw 5 interceptions. So you got to explain that. 63.7 QB rating.
So like I said, a couple of the 2 of the picks was me going to my check down too early, and Max was just sitting on the running back. And he held triangle and jumped in front of them. There was one where my tight end had the linebacker B did the right on the end route, but I wasn't aware of Seth Cannon sitting there just idling. He acrobated, but if he didn't acrobat, that was a touchdown, no doubt about it.
One of those throws you wish you could have back.
The throw at the end, I really wish I could have that back, because like I said, I seen the tight end slip on the corner route, and I panicked and hit triangle and threw that shit right there on Taylor. He ran that shit in for a pick 6. I would like to have all the throws back, honestly, but I really couldn't be mad at the, because they were self-inflicted wounds. Maybe I'm a little bit more patient here, a little bit more patient there and stuff like that, but he was getting crazy pressure with his D-line. So in my head, I'm counting 3 seconds to get the ball out.
Yep, that clock going off a little faster than you wanted to go off.
Right. I think that had a lot to play with it. So
to the house, 16 carries for 103 yards, 6.4 yards and a touchdown. He showed up. Jonathan Taylor had 4.9, but only 8 carries. He wasn't having a bad day, but just didn't, get a chance to do what he do. DT had 34 yards, 8.5 yards a carry. Spades also carried the ball twice for 7 yards a pop. To the house though, did he surprise you? Was this a guy? Cause we talked about this. I said JT and him will have to have a day for this team. Whoever had the day would be the successor in this game right now. And it kind of showed up the way we talked about when we talked about this matchup before y'all played. To the house, 16 carries. How effective was that? Because you said he had a lead and being able to give him the football for 6.4 yards a pop. And remember, I said, if he can be over 5 yards a carry, that would be special for him, and that, will put the Giants in a good situation.
That guy, the running back, he's special, but I give all credit to his line. His line was blocking outstanding. Like I said, my guys got caught up in the wash a couple of times. Okay. Where he, a lot of times, he didn't have to make guys miss. He hit one hole, hit the hole, and he was gone. He didn't have to make no cuts. He didn't have to really struggle for no yards. So for the most part, I want to give credit to his line, but he's a special back, no doubt about it. He get loose.
All right, so Debo Sharp stepped up for you with 7 catches, 128 yards. He had a touchdown in this game. Dorian Parker, 6 for 70. Schwartz had 5 catches, 67. Your quarterback was getting the ball to his weapons. But Plexico, 3 catches, 62 yards and a touchdown. Cannon, 2 catches, 33 yards and a touchdown. Just the matchups right there with the DBs, with these 2 towers out there. How much of a mismatch did they create with their height?
Being out of the snug game, it really wasn't even the height today. It was just he schemed it up. Like he got him on a couple of slants, got him open across field. It was never really, like I said, he took one shot and Vaughn Savage came over with the pick. Like, so height really didn't play a factor. It was more so he just schemed up some stuff, a couple of motions, slants, and get him open any way he could. Like, doing max things,
Yeah, I feel you there, man. These guys, 5 catches between the two of them, 6 catches between the 3 of their weapons. I don't even see the tight end on here. Oh, there you go, down here for 2 catches. And then they had Selem Brown, who's a converted tight end and fullback, caught the ball for 10 yards and a touchdown as well. So they was able to, Elijah Manning finds a way to get it done. He finds a way to get his guys in the end zone. It seemed like that happened in this game as well. Von Taylor stepped up. 8 tackles in this game. He had 2 picks. One of them things went to the crib right now. He's been a thorn in your ass since he's been a Giant.
Well, that guy moves like a D-back. I don't understand it. Like the one pick, I playmaker the hell out of my receiver, and Vaughn changed directions on me. When my guy was slipping all over the field, this linebacker is moving like a corner. Like that's just annoying. Like he's annoying, man.
He balling, man. The last teller that been a player that pissed everybody off was his uncle, LT. You know what I'm saying? So he's doing it on the back end as a pass cover linebacker at that too. All right, so you come out of that game, the Giants get to move on. And their move on depends on who wins out of these games down here. So let's start here first. And we're going to go to this game right here. First of all, we're looking at 81 points put up in a playoff game. Just when we thought you couldn't see it or we seen it all, we see something else when it comes down to the Arizona Cardinals. Where has this team been all year long? People haven't been paying attention to them at all. Like, they've been under the radar. They lost 2 big games to 2 big teams over there in the regular season. They lost to the Giants and they lost to the Bucks. But then they get in the playoffs and they turn into the super Cardinals or something, because I don't know how these things happen and the way they did it. So last year, an all-time record was broken between Hits. Israel comes in, and we thought, Tyson Williams was the playoff. We called him Playoff Williams, and Israel started to take that away from right away as his second season as the second season in the league, but his first full season as a starting tailback with no pressure behind him, right? And he scored 17 touchdowns in 4 games. The wild card, the divisional round, the championship, and then the Super Bowl. Total of 17 touchdowns. And in those 17 touchdowns, he caught the ball out the backfield for touchdowns, ran for touchdowns, and he did run punch back in those games as well, in the Super Bowl and in the wild card round. Now, box score, let's get through it. 686, 520. These guys was explosive on offense. 315 yards rushing, though. 371. This is beyond balance when you're looking at passing and rushing yards. That's their yards right here. That total yards come right from both of these, right? Where most guys, if you can rush for 150 yards and throw for 250, you had a good day. He's 315 and 371. 14 first downs, but the Vikings looked like they was in strike mode back. They had 164 rushing yards, 356 in the air as well. Obviously you're gonna come down here and see the 8 turnovers to the 3, and that's the game pretty much right there. This team, let's go back to the box score. First team we've seen ever in a playoff game hang 60 points on a team before halftime.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about that for a second, the significance of that, and to be able to do something like that. One, first of all, is that disrespectful? Because from what I'm hearing, timeouts was burnt and they went for 2 to get the 60 points. Like, they were disrespecting the Vikings earlier today in this game. And if you're the Vikings, how would you take that?
The way it was intended. That was all disrespect, man.
Just flat out disrespectful.
Yeah,
like, fuck off my sticks, nigga. Yeah. That's what that was. Get the fuck off my sticks, nigga. Hey, man, but we're going to get into some conversations because we got to stay here for a second, all right? I showed y'all that 60 points was put up. This guy scored 46 points in the second quarter alone. You start the game off 14-14 in Minnesota. People were like, uh-oh, Minnesota can't play.
Yeah. Right, like one thing I can say about Minnesota, though, he did not play scared. He was taking shots. His guys went up and got balls for him. Like he was getting his plays in. It's just that the plays that didn't go his way, folk made him pay for it. Like,
I'm gonna tell you like this. We saw it all year, you know, and the problem is you see it, you don't get to see it until you see it on the biggest stage, right? But Boseman has been a monster receiver all year long, but he solidified that he might be the best receiver in the league right now with that playoff game he had today. And a losing effort, what they did today at that receiver position, where a guy lost his starting job trying to cover this guy today. So we're going to talk about that in a second, but let's get to it. The player stats right now. I told you last time this team played, Kyler Murray threw 6 interceptions trying to break the touchdown record. I told you he would not do that again. I wasn't even expecting him to throw 3 picks, but when you blowing somebody out like that, you don't have no problem trying shit now. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I think those 3 interceptions come from. 105.4 to 93.9 in QB ratings. The young diaper dandies tried to stand tall in this game. He did throw for 356. He did throw 5 touchdowns. The problem is he threw 7 INTs to go along with those 5 touchdowns. But he showed up, man. That's the future is bright at that quarterback spot over there in Minnesota. That's all I'm gonna say. But here's the guy, man. Look, bro. We had a show earlier today, and we talked about who's the best offensive player in the league, and who's the best this, who's the best that. Where would you, in his short 3 seasons, where would you put his Israel at this point right now?
He gotta be up there in the top, man. Like top 10 at least. Like, only reason I say top 10 is because he don't get used throughout the season until the playoffs. So, like I said, where everybody's leaving, folks, he's wobbling. Like, he's like playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. So,
right.
Throughout the season, he's trying stuff. He's getting comfortable in different formations. He's getting comfortable with different adjustments. And you can get him in the regular season because he's not really playing you like how he would play you. Like, and we all see that now. Like, he get in playoffs and a whole different animal come out. So.
A whole different animal come out, man. I mean, 18 carries. I mean, this guy, this is not, and it's almost like, do you say it's the player, it's the scheme, it's the coach? What is it? Because, we saw, in a wild card game 3 seasons ago, I would say 3 to 4 seasons ago, maybe 3, where Tyson Williams opened up against the Cowboys and had numbers like this. Not the 307, but he averaged, like Dan there, 16 point something yards a carry. But this kid went off. 18 carries, 307, 17.1, 5 touchdowns. Yards after contact, 175. 3 broken tackles though, and on the 3 broken tackles, they were 3 long touchdown runs. When he broke the tackle, it was to the crib. We said Danny Glover had to be a player for this team, and you would think, damn, 17 carries, 132 yards, he played pretty well, 7.8. It just didn't result to, the type of, the way those numbers look like they had a good run game themselves. But Chadwick Boseman, man, 8 catches, 270 yards, 33.8. He's been averaging down at 35 yards a catch already on the season. He had the 5 touchdowns in this game, bro. He was flat out unstoppable.
He monster corner on one nice little streak route, man. Oh my God, right over the top.
And that's why I'm saying he's the best receiver in the league right now. He stacks better. When it comes down to him getting open, he knows how to get open. He knows how to go get the 50-50. He knows how to stack corners and keep them guys behind him where they can't hit that triangle button and pick him off. He's doing a lot of things that I saw, in the replays of this game. Of him going up and go get the football. He's very special, and he's a great route runner. And as much as I've seen him go deep, we've seen him go deep a lot. He can do anything. He run the whole route tree. He's special. And I'm flat out, after what I saw today, this is the best receiver in the league right now. And I haven't seen somebody pick on, especially in the playoffs, a Cardinals DB the way they picked on Revis Island today. They went at him all game long and was successful in doing it. Flat out.
You gotta play folk like that, man. You can't go into that game thinking, it's folk. Like, man, you gotta play fearless. Like, and that's what he did. He played fearless. Like I said, he had the 7 interceptions, and that's just a rookie being a rookie. Like, he'll get that corrected, and he's still building his team. Like, that's the scary part. This guy's doing this with a team that's not fully his yet. So. Sky's the limit, man.
Yeah, skies are the limit right now. King James stepped up with 7 catches for 100. Looks like 168, 24 yards a catch, 3 touchdowns in this game too. Isabella, 5 catches for 165. I mean, Isabella been on the block all last year. Nobody came and got him. He said, "Fuck it, we'll just keep him and play him in the record books." As simple as that. But he showed up in this game, 5 for 165, 33 yards a catch as well, 2 touchdowns. If it wasn't for what he did, Chadwick Boseman, we would be talking about Isabella right now. Glover out the backfield for 9 catches, 41 yards. Hits Israel 3 catches, 23 yards out the backfield. We seeing weapons. Their number 1 receiver had 1 catch for 15 yards and a touchdown. Not concerning considering what happened with the tight end and Isabella, right? You still got, 3 receivers over there that could be your number 1 at any moment. So I'm not mad at that. And look at the defensive side of things, man. Brad Dawkins, he had 11 tackles, solos at that, 15 total tackles in this game. When you got a guy flinging it like the way he did it and running the ball as well too, you got to have a safety that can make some plays for you. And when you getting behind the secondary like this Boseman kid was, Brad had to be the last line of defense over there for him. 2 tackles for loss. He had an INT in this game too. Let's go look at the 7 INTs and see who did what. All right, Ashari Croswell. Why do we not talk about this safety enough? Like, because he shows up every game.
I think it's because it's folks, so by default, everybody, I don't think his team get the credit they deserve for all.
Yeah, the team, they just individually can't get the credit they deserve because of how much shit happens with this team over there. They are fucking explosive everywhere, bro. Revis Allen lost his job. He's literally on the bench. He's literally lost his starting job to Primetime Sanders. So Prime Sanders will be the new corner going up against the Giants' number 1 receivers. Then, my thing is this: if Boseman did what he did, I would be like, oh my god. Cannon or Burris should have a good day, but I don't think that neither one of the receivers are better than that kid Boseman over there at all. I don't think they can do what he did, and you looking at 6'5" and 6'5" with these guys now. Revis Allen 4 tackles. When you get the ball thrown at you so much the way he did today, them 2 interceptions, you better 2 of them fell in his lap probably. Because all he was doing was putting his hands up trying to make a play on the football. He had good coverage. It wasn't like it was total separation. He was there. He just couldn't make the play. Dawkins had a pick. Cameron Dantzler had a pick. Keith David had a pick. Wesley Snipes had a pick. Jess Griffin had a pick. And that's how this game went. Listen, bro. What's to say that this team is not going right back to a Super Bowl again? Who's going to stop it?
If anything, Max might be the best hope we got. Like, playing in the home field with the snow, getting the team out of their element. Like, this is probably the best chance right here. This next game. If we get past this, man, I really don't see too many people standing in his way, honestly.
Man, yeah, I agree. I think Coach Max and them young gremlins is up for a tall task right now, man. We're asking a lot out of them right now to stop this explosive offense that's already explosive as shit in the league. Then they get in the playoffs and they take it up 10 notches. Man, good luck with that. All right, so we slide out of there, and we know the matchup between the Cardinals and the Giants is what's going to happen now that we had those 2 games figured out. All right, so the Bears took it to the Cowboys 55-17. It looked like Sidney Cake was flat out scared in this game. I watched this game. His rhythm was terrible. Joey Cummings was showed up. He wanted to play. It was weird because Joey had a good day, but it was Chicago which is on one this game. This was the effect of picking the right training when you train your guys before a game, because every time he ran Joey Cummings from anywhere inside, no outside runs, and all the inside runs, you saw anybody that had a superstar on that defense light up. And that tells you right away that they picked the right shit to better stop this Cowboy team. And once that happened, I don't think the Cowboys had anything. I mean, their passing game was super simple. The routes, it wasn't no real kind, like, we didn't get crossing routes. We didn't get anything that like really scheme guys open. It was like Sidney Cake would roll out, and then as soon as he see any type of pressure, he'll just throw it right to the DBs. The Cowboys didn't show up to this game. They wasn't prepared. This was one of the worst coaching jobs I've seen out of a coach in the playoffs, period. they just couldn't do anything. They were stagnated. They could not move the ball. They could not get a stop. The Chicago Bears had running lanes the side of highways. I-95, whatever you want to call it, 676. It was 3 lanes of available space to do anything in. Driving in, and Walter Payton came through that bitch doing 60 miles per hour because they could not stop Walter Payton Jr. at all this game. 22 carries for 186 yards, 4 touchdowns in this game, bro. The Bears.
To see myself, man, because
the Bears don't run the ball.
Sleeper, bro. They don't run the ball. So for him to do that against that front seven with all that speed, man. Like Snake got he got a well-built team, man. That defense is stout, man. So that's impressive. And for Snake, you can't come off like you took the undefeated team and you give them a 1 loss in the season. You can't come off that and lay an egg like this.
Now you can't, bro. You ran 3 off to get yourself in the playoffs. That's what I'm saying. Some teams are just comfortable saying we made the playoffs, right? Because this team hasn't been outside of the wild card round since season 1. Period. They are 1-7 or 1-6 in the playoffs right now. Remind me of the Jacksonville Jaguars on the AFC side. 1-6 in the playoffs right now. Unfortunately, they drew the Cardinals a lot to start off their playoff situation. They lost, the best team. You can always go out saying, well, but lost to the champ, so it is what it is. But Walter Payton arrived, and to me, this is scary because 22 carries for 186, and Joey Cummings, a factor back, the big body back, the guy that we call very special, that do some things. You see this guy twice a year, you know what he's about. Man had 3.1 yards to carry right in this game, bro. How frustrated do you think he was?
Oh man, I can only imagine. I can't even put a number on that one, cause that shit. That's what I don't know, man. He said he has been passing the ball a lot more this year, but like when you needed them games, you went to Joey Cummings. Like I don't care what
that's exactly what it was. So passing or not passing, like it doesn't matter because again, when you needed to win to get in the playoffs, it was the Joey Cummings show, and you didn't come out with that same formula in this game, which is mind-boggling to me. But when they did try to give him the football, look what happened. He averaged 3.1 yards a carry. It was 15 handoffs to Joey Cummings, although we used to seeing 37 or above. That 15 averaging 3.1 really wasn't getting the shit done at all. Man, what do the Cowboys got to do to be able to further themselves a little bit? Because stagnant.
Like I wouldn't even go away from what you're doing. I would say expanded a little bit more. Like it was to the point like when he played me, like I knew what he was doing. He just outmanned my team pretty much. Like he lined up against my team, was like, man, my line's better than your defensive line. I'm just gonna run at you. But every team you can't do that with. Some teams they built their defensive line and linebacking core to be just as equal, like if not better. You know what I'm saying? So you can't come with that same arrogant, I'm gonna just run this ball at you. I'm gonna line up in goal line offense and just, run down your throat 100 times. Like that shit ain't always gonna fly.
Yeah, when you
gotta throw a couple tosses in there or stretch or like
when you can't bully somebody with your familiar plays, you gotta better go to some things to the passing game or other familiar plays. So then ask yourself how deep is your playbook, because what happened was they couldn't get out the backfield. Bottom line. Remember I told you the Chicago Bears had a really good offensive line, and that offensive line was really built to run the football. And they throw the ball a lot, and their run starts with Justin Fields taking off, right? Listen, bro. Cake, 205 yards, 1 touchdown, 7 interceptions, sacked 3 times. But that Bears offensive line is built to run. They're agile and they're very fast up front. And look what happens when they use that line. The way they were supposed to, and Walter Payton goes off 22 carries. You just can't talk about 8.5 yards a carry. Like I said, it seemed like every 2 carries this guy was running 40, 30, 40 yards down the field easy. 4 touchdowns.
Yeah,
I mean, they went out there
man.
and dominated the Cowboys. Yo, they made the Cowboys look like they didn't even belong in the playoffs. It was just like, I mean, who the fuck, just get this team out my way real fast so we can go. And I think this is concerning. And if I'm the coach, if I'm Snake over here, I'm concerned about this, because you had a special year when you traded for Sidney Cake, right? And you know, was it a disguise? You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is you wasn't running your running back Joey Cummins, and you were successful not having to run him 30-40 times a game. And Cake was taking off, running with the football, throwing the ball, shot plays off of his legs, being able to hit you with the rollout and play actions, and you think he running, he throw the bomb over your head and all that. But then a year later, everybody catches up to that. They know what you want to do, and you haven't took it to another level yet, because if you did, you wouldn't be out here throwing 7 picks. And I mean, I seen rollouts and throws that where just throw the ball away. What are you doing? What are you doing? He throws it back across the field on a floater and gets the shit picked off right before halftime and give up points right before halftime, where he still had a chance to, out of all the struggling he was doing, he still had a chance to be in this ball game, and he threw interceptions his way out of it. So the Cowboys really need to, assess themselves, really check themselves out, and see what they can do to improve over that. I don't think it's the pieces. I think they got the weapons. I think they got everything they need. I just think they need to be better coached.
Yeah, so on this hot routes is his friends, like, man, you gotta start using some of them hot routes a little bit more, because you keep coming out. Like, it's almost a form of arrogance at this point. Like, he'll come out in the same formation. We know where you want to throw it to. You won't hot route nobody. You want the emotion, no wrinkle, no nothing. And you expect us not to catch on, or, you know what I'm saying? It's almost a form of arrogance. Like, at some point, you gotta, like, at least throw a fucking crossing route in on a formation, throw somebody off a little bit, just make us think a little bit more. Because if we get to this playoff just pure football, like, we don't gotta think about what you want to do. We don't gotta, we could really anticipate your every move, right? That's when we get you in a lot of trouble.
And that's what happened. The Bears was cheating with their user. As soon as they saw, anything that looked like a run, it was a run. So they came screaming right the fuck down and was lighting this motherfucking running back up, who usually don't fall off the first tackle. I mean, they were hitting this boy. This boy was taking a beating in this game, bro. Trust me, I watched the whole game. He was taking a beating. The Cowboys was defeated. They gave up kind of in this game. They just fucking put their hands up and said, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Is it me? I mean, at one point he asked, is it me? Is it me doing something wrong right now? The way he throwing picks right now. And guess what? Let's not act like Sidney Cake didn't come from the Atlanta Falcons, where he threw more interceptions than touchdowns every year of his career.
Right.
So once the rattleness came out, he resorted back to being coached by the Falcons coach and donated. Simple as that. So they got a lot of work to do. I don't know how tested them Bears was, because they was flying on all cylinders, bro. And it was just the offensive line moved the defensive line for the Cowboys. They got those guys out the way every time they ran the football. And I think that's what, that's the tell-all right there. Anthony Harvin had 85 yards in this game. Slaughter didn't touch the end zone. Joey Cummins did have 48 yards in the touchdown out the backfield. The tight end pair also scored on 4 catching 40 yards and a touchdown. So they did their thing a little bit. I don't need to see their defense. They beat the shit out of the Cowboys, just like the Cardinals beat the shit out of the Vikings. Our matchups is the Bears go to Tampa Bay, and the Cardinals go to New York. Cardinals will be playing in the elements, and Chicago gets out of the element and go play in good weather. Great matchups right now, both these teams. These could be Super Bowl, NFC Championship previews right here. Both these 4 teams that's left playing where they playing at right now. I'm smelling upsets though. We'll come back to that. Now let's get over here. We talked about the Bills. All right, 45-24. Here we go. What happened in this Broncos game? Was you able to see it?
No, I don't think the train went up. I don't know.
Okay, so since we couldn't see it, we just got to go see what happened. All right, so the Dolphins, offensive yards gained 364. The run game was won by the Broncos like we thought would happen, right? And the passing game 277 to 198. First down 16 to 11. So the Dolphins was able to, keep moving the sticks in this game, right? When we come down to the turnovers, 4-1. That's the ball game right there. There's always the turnovers that tell a story right now, man. Kellen Mond 116-2. Dan Marino Jr. 102.9. Kellen Mond 198 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Marino 3 and 4. You know what I mean? Looks like remember the matchup I talked about? Let's see if we can find that matchup. Javonte Williams, I told y'all this was going to happen. 18 carries, 161, 8.9 yards a carry and a touchdown. He's starting to get really, really comfortable with this running back right now. Nuna East got the ball, and not Spencer Moss, the guy that got you there and was balling for you all year. Didn't catch the ball more than 3 times. East got on the ball, got the carry, 4.5 yards to carry, 13 for 59 yards. I don't know why, but we'll see. All right, Chase, 7 catches, 149, 3 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle, 3 catches for 102. 34, holla at you, Rob. I read your text. 3 catches for 102, 34 yards a catch, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't shut down in this game. He wasn't barely even contained. He just didn't get a lot of targets. And other guys got involved. So I like what the Dolphins is doing. They got other guys involved. Arthur Forbes, Nathan Huffman. They got tight end involved. Like, they getting the guys the football around here, man. And it's going to turn into something special eventually. Who did what? I want to know. Alright. Sacks. Let's see how many times sacked Gregory Rose. Miami. Bradley Chubb had 2. Quentin Williams had 1. Elliott Dumerville had 1. The INT department. Brandon Stevens, 2. Patrick Surtain, Corey Bernard, INT for the lead, Corey Bernard, Patrick Surtain, Stevens too. I wanted to see what Kerry Vincent did in this game. 5 tackles. Alright, cool. Alright, so we see the Dolphins take a L. The 6th seed drops to the 3rd seed. In the AFC, you got both home teams won. Bills move on. Dolphins lose, and the Broncos move on. And that matches 2 versus 3 up over here in the AFC for the divisional round. A familiar game. They played this game last year. And they played at the end of the season last year and this year. You know, they keep going back and forth. Right now, though, the Buffalo Bills, you know, have the last win over top of the Broncos. And the Broncos travel to Buffalo. Both these teams used to play in the element, so we should see how this goes. I don't know if it's the element game. We'll check it out later on tomorrow when we get on to the talk show when everybody is on. But right now, 2 and 3 is lined up with each other, and then you go down here to see what happened in 33-3. Jacksonville really got it taken to them. The Patriots came through and just did whatever they wanted in this game. Simple as that. Held them with 3 points. Threw the ball, had 111.8 QB rating, 295 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs, only been sacked once. You know, anytime they hitting on cylinders like this is crazy. Alright, so Ezekiel Stokes had 20 carries for 138 yards and a touchdown. ETN got shut, 21-64, 3 yards a carry. Really didn't have a good day at all. Alright, nothing there. Let's go to the passing game, see what happened. The passing game, again, Bolin went crazy. 5 catches, 204. Alright, Bolin went the fuck dummies in this game, man. The rookie Duke Harden had 2 catches, 54 yards. Hernandez, 1 catch, 28 yards. DK Metcalf, Bird, 5 for 24. Whatever. Alright, I just want to say. Okay, that's that right now. So then New England travels to Baltimore. The last time this teams made a matchup in the playoffs, the New England Patriots beat them in the divisional round to go to the AFC Championship. No, they beat them in the AFC Championship round. They beat the Chargers in the AFC divisional round to beat me in the AFC Championship. And at the end of that season, when we started the next season, we played early. The Patriots played me early. And he screamed it, the revenge game. Ah, you want revenge right now, huh? And like it was on, and my thing was no revenge because it's not a playoff game. So now this is the revenge game. Simple as that. New England and Baltimore Ravens is the revenge game. And to be honest with you, if you're looking for the game of the week, what game we want to watch the most, I really got this as one of the games to watch, but I think the buck stops here. Tampa Bay and the Chicago Bears. So this is going to be the game you're going to better pick your winner on. That we'll do tomorrow. Other than that, man, thanks for chilling with me late night and Hits the Franchise Guru. All you playoff guys, keep playing, do what you gotta do. All you guys not in the playoffs, keep trading and make a move. Holla at us.